Three common money mindset issues that tend to come up for us online business owners and entrepreneurs at the end of the year. And it can be a little bit crippling. And so today, inside of this episode of the Brilliant New Business Show, I'm going to be being a little bit real and raw and vulnerable with you today to share kind of some things that have been going on for me recently and have affected my money mindset, and how using some of the tools that I have got in my toolbox and I help my clients with, I want to share some actionable tips with you as well. If you can resonate with any things I'm going to share with you today that can help bring you out of that kind of spiral downwards and really help you to take back control of your money mindset so that you can really continue to end this year strong, start next year with a bang, and any time of year, really. It doesn't matter whether it's the end of the year, but there are some things that come up specifically at the end of the year that I want to talk about today and help you to see if you may recognize some things that might be going on for you right now or might do soon. And then you can have some actionable things that you can take away today to be able to get out of that funk. So welcome to this week's episode of the Brilliantly You Business Show. My name is Jenny Stevens. I hope you are well. Do comment in if you're here live with me or if you're watching this on the replay. Still join in the conversation. Let me know who you are, where you are watching from today so I can say hello, and I'll reply to all comments as soon as I can. And in case we're meeting for the first time, as I mentioned, my name is Jenny Stevens. I'm here in the southwest of England, and I help coach and train other online business owners with their mindset and help them with practical step-by-step tips to help you build online, attract your ideal customer, and do it in a way that leverages your talents, your time, and really leveraging your self-trust and having the best mindset and self-belief that you can by getting rid of those limiting beliefs. And so this is one of the big things that I noticed with my own journey. And so I'm going to share a bit of things that have been going on for me that recently that may well help you if you ever kind of feel similar feelings to this. So money mindset is a big thing. And I never knew about money mindset until maybe last year. No, probably the year before, a couple of years ago. And when I started to learn about these limiting beliefs and these blocks that can get in the way of our business journey and life, even if you're not in business, it still affects you. I was like, oh my God. And I love talking about money mindset. And I actually get quite a lot of clients come to me who want help with their money mindset. And so I want to share a bit about my little spiral downwards in the last few months. And it's been a shit. It's been a bit shit, to be honest. And because this is what I do, and I'm sure other people here, like we are much better at helping other people with things than we are sometimes doing it ourselves. But I've been taking action the last couple of weeks because I'm sick of feeling this way. And so I've had to really ask myself and dig deep. Okay, enough, Jenny. Let's sort this out. This last nearly 2 years, I had a whole kind of bit of a rebrand. I really looked at everything I was doing. I changed up my content strategy, changed my audience, really realigned with what I wanted to do, who I wanted to help, and what I wanted to help people with. And this year was the birth of this show, this weekly show, which I've loved doing. And I very quickly started to see results with more engagement. I started to get more clients, and I then put out a whole new offer that really felt really aligned with everything that I've learned and things that I love talking about together in this super program that I was so proud of. And when I launched that in July, I had my best month ever. And so I did about just under £6,500 in that 1 month of booked revenue, which was amazing. And it was like, oh my God, I felt like finally things are coming together. I was like, if I can do this every single month, like I've got almost a six-figure dollar business, which is, my big goal is to get to six figures. I was like, okay, awesome. People are, I had two clients sign up for that new program. I also had another client sign up for one of my other services, building a website. And I had, I had about four or five clients come to me for kind of different things that I offer. And it was like, oh my God. So it felt amazing. And I was on this, riding this high, and it felt like, oh, finally things are coming together. Like I make sales fairly regularly, and I've just been wanting to get it. The goal is really six figures, but we moved house in last January, and my income took a dip then. And the problem was I'd budgeted everything on what I was earning before, and so it's been a little bit tighter than what I would have liked. So anyway, so this year has been fantastic. I've got to work with some amazing people, and really, let's say, everything that I put together inside of my program is everything that I've gone through in the last 18 months. So to see other people get excited about it and people bought and signed up was amazing. So I had this awesome month, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. Like I knew I wasn't necessarily going to make that same money the very next month, because it was close, I was closing the doors to that program. And then, I had to then fulfill, and I probably overloaded myself a little bit too much, if I'm honest. July and August was fab. I was like on cloud nine, feeling amazing, felt super confident in myself, and then the end of August, it was like things started to just happen. So the very end of August, my darling boy cat, Alan, who was, if you if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook at all, you probably see, for the last however long, before, September, you probably would have seen lots of selfies with my cat. I've got three cats, and unfortunately my middle cat, who was my favorite, and he was like my baby, he passed away. Which, as you can tell, oh fuck, really hurt, really hit me. Oh God. I didn't think I would cry, but hey ho. So that was a huge, oh, shitstorm, like it was so out of the blue. He got hit by a car on the road outside of our house, and it was just such a shock. And again, if you know any of my story, my husband and I have been trying to have a baby for 11 years now, and so our cats are our babies, while we haven't given up on becoming parents to human babies. But so our cats are our world, and Alan to me was everything. So when he died, it was just shit. It was horrible, and oh, so much previous pain with my fertility journey, with losing a baby. I lost my dad when I was 21. So much of that grief, those feelings of loss, of any other kind of loss, comes like flooding out again. And it's hard, so I knew it was going to be tough. So slow, I'm crying when I put makeup on today. um and so all these old feelings came flooding back again, and I did give myself, a bit of time. We kind of had a week away. Literally the day after, or 2 days after he died, we'd booked a week away in our caravan down by the beach. So that was quite nice to just get away and not be in the house and just feel that void every single day. Um, but obviously then when I came home, it's like, oh, you see the void, and I'm so grateful that we've got two other cats that could make me smile every day and I could give my love to. But Alan was so special. So yeah. Um and then so that happened, and my default when things like that happen and I lose people, or t- life is not being very kind, my default is to try and keep busy, and it's to try and distract myself as much as possible. And my default is to just put myself into work. My business was my business pretty much was born to help me get through my fertility issues. And it really say, oh God, I'm going deep. I'm going deep today. My business really saved me. And we had our first IVF treatment about a few months after my business started. And when things didn't go to plan, I plowed myself into my business, and it worked at the time. So when this happened with Alan, I did the same thing, kind of not consciously as such, but I had so much to do. I was launching my podcast. I was then obviously delivering on, I was in the middle of delivering that program with my new clients. I was then getting ready to reopen the doors again, like the following month. And so I'd probably given myself a bit too much to do. So because of I was dealing with this grief, I plowed myself into work. I noticed then that because I've done a lot of inner healing already and a lot of inner work on myself, my mindset, my limiting beliefs, and all the shit that I've dealt with and that's happened, I can recognize things quicker. And so I recognized after a few weeks of I'm exhausted. Like I was shattered. I was working a lot. I wasn't sleeping because of, I was just thinking about my cat. I was then thinking about, oh God, am I delivering things enough? Like thinking about, oh God, I've got all this to do. And then I had I do some contract work, and so that's kind of like my bread and butter, while I'm getting everything else figured out and building up my client base and all of that stuff. So I then had my income threatened for the second time. I already had it halved, lost completely, and then halved nearly 2 years ago. And so I had my income threatened again, which then brought up all the money shit with, oh my God, am I going to be okay? Like, we're in a different position now. We've got a new house with mortgage 2.5 times the size. And so it then brought up all of my old default money stuff with that kind of fight or flight, sink or swim, you know, feast or famine, which I hate being in, and when you've had money issues in the past, again, you just don't ever want to go back there. So I was worrying about money, and then it was then the self-doubt of, oh my God, like I've got to step up even more and I've got to make this happen. And I could feel myself and I could see it happening. And I was starting to go down this little spiral, and I have been stressed about money a lot recently. Like literally a couple of weeks ago, it was like I really was recognizing more about what was happening. And I was like, this is not who you are anymore, Jenny. You know that this is just the story that you're telling yourself. This isn't reality. And so I wanted to share that with you because, as you can see, even just talking about it, like it chokes me up, especially when it comes to my little boy. It's hard, and I'm a great, great person to put the front on and pretend that everything's fine to myself, to my friends, to my family, to my husband, to my business audience. And the reality is, it's been hard. It's been really hard. And this is what I wanted to kind of, yes, I'm going to be talking mostly about money, but it is whatever happens, we have these defaults. And that's why I'm so passionate about doing that mindset transformation work with people, because it goes deeper than just trying to get more sales. It goes deeper than just trying to get more engagement on social media or just putting your offer out. So that's why I bring in the mindset work, the deep stuff, because whatever we're dealing with life, you might be having relationship problems. You might be hating your reflection because you've gained weight and not wanting to show up. There's so many things that go on up here that the symptom is things that happen in our business. So I've got my own inner work. I need to peel back another layer of myself. So I'm going to be looking at my go-to people, because I can't really do it myself on myself. So I want to share with you some of the things, and then mixture of practical things and obviously the sorting out these mindset stuff. Okay. So I appreciate you listening to me, and especially if you're watching this on the replay. I don't get emotional on camera very often. So, but I thought I knew that I needed to be real, and I needed to be honest, and I needed to share not just the highlight reel that we tend to do. And I do have sometimes, I do that sometimes. And I don't like wallowing. I don't like sharing negativity or being a Debbie Downer, because I know I don't like to give it any more energy than I'm giving it myself. So that's why I don't like to share too much and it's not because I'm too proud. It's because I don't want to give it any more energy than what I'm already giving it inside of my own head and the inner conversations that I'm having. Because we're so hard on ourselves, aren't we? We are so hard on ourselves. But there are some practical things that I've been doing, and I want to share that with you today, because it has sparked the money part particular. So it kind of, and one of the things that I've learned is sometimes when you have got money mindset issues, especially if you do have this like really good month, and then if you see things spiral downwards, it might well be some kind of money block that you've got. And so I need to do another level. Like I said, I've already worked on my money mindset a lot. I know I need to do some more. The end of the year, so I'm talking about things that show up at the end of the year. And so let me know if you relate to any of these things. And these are just, again, I'm talking from kind of my experience with things that I feel. And so I'm sure I know, I'm not alone in this. So the end of the year, and I talked a bit about this on the last episode when I was talking about getting ready for the holiday season, because the end of the year brings up a lot of weird stuff for us. It brings up this, it's like any deadline we give ourselves, right? You're suddenly going, oh my God, like I wanted this year to be different, or I wanted to end the year with this income level, or I wanted to end the year making this impact, this difference, having X, Y, Z, fill in the blank. And so when we get towards the end of the year, we suddenly go, oh shit. And we panic, and you go, oh my God, like I don't want to end the year. And when you're doing your, hopefully you're doing end of year analysis, looking at your numbers and going, okay, what did we actually do? Obviously we have to for tax returns and stuff like that as well. But the end of the year just has it's got this weird control over us in a way. It's the same with everything. You look at everything, you suddenly catch up with friends in like December because you go, oh my God, we haven't seen each other for 6 months or a year. It just brings this whole thing. So when it comes to money, though, we suddenly get this. You might be looking at if you keep a spreadsheet or however you track your income and your expenses and stuff, and going, oh, I'm not where I thought I wanted to be. When you set those goals in January, you might have done this in September, October. It's now November. And it's like, oh what? Time feels like it's running out. At the end of the day, there's no difference between December and January, apart from, we eat a lot more, we spend a lot more in December. And then that's number two, is it's an expensive time of year, or it can be. We've got presents to buy. You might then be worried about that. You might be having other things to spend, traveling, if you're traveling to see your family, if you've got to travel any distance. So it's an expensive time of year. We're catching up with more friends, and especially obviously after the last, couple of years with COVID and the pandemic and everything. Hopefully this year we can actually socialize a bit more. Whereas last year we couldn't. There's more socializing, there's more parties. Like, my husband is 40 at the beginning of December, so we've got three 40th birthday parties, his and two friends. Literally, like, within 4 weeks we've got three parties, so it's an expensive time of year. So for me, like, I've been thinking, oh god, like, I need to make sure that we can do all this fun stuff. For Christmas, I'm lucky that I do save up. We save up every single month, a separate bank account just for Christmas. So we've got money for presents and spending and stuff. So that's good. So that's a little tip for you. If you kind of ever get to Christmas, you haven't got money, set up a standing order, have it go into a separate bank, and then you've got money to go to. You've also got then, there's a lot of promotions happening. We've got Black Friday, there's December. So there's a lot of other people, retail companies, business people. Like, even I have been, I've been tempted by about three things in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, oh, maybe I should buy that. So there's a lot of promotions going on this time of year. And there's a lot of noise flying about. And so you might get shiny object syndrome. You might think you need all these different things. You might get overwhelmed with all of the offers. And what do you do? Do you need anything at all? Do you buy everything? A lot of money mindset issues can come up at this time of year. And these have been all of what I've been feeling as well. These mindset issues, they're there because they're deep rooted in you. If you feel this sense of scarcity again, that's a deep rooted money belief that you've got, and you've inherited from your family and surroundings that you grew up with. What I want you to think about, because I want to really help you take away something today that you can do that's actionable. So if you feel this kind of more bit of doubt, fear, or scarcity creeping back in, which has for me, even though, so I have this internal battle. I have I know I'm capable. I know I can do it. And then you've got the, oh my God, like, no, you haven't got enough sort of stuff. So it's like this internal battle and tug of war going on in your mind, which is so bloody annoying. So the one thing to do, pay attention and see if you recognize any of these things coming up again for you. So even if you have, like I say, I've worked on my money mindset quite a lot, which has been massively impactful. When these things happen, they happen way less than what they used to. I think just recently it's been because of like this knock of things, that's then just spiraled. So pay attention, start becoming more aware of your thoughts, of your action. Are you finding yourself working more, feeling like you need to hustle more and grind more because you feel like, I need to earn more, so I need to work so freaking hard to have that happen? And I'm gonna tell you, and this is what I have been telling myself, that that's just not true. Because I made the money my best month fairly easily. So I know that these thoughts that are going on in my mind with Dave, the doubt devil, who sits on your shoulder, which, by the way, just a side note. So I like making reels, and I want to do more different things. And I love Virginia Kerr, who does great character reels. So I've gone, and I talk about Dave, the doubt devil. So I'm going to create a character called Dave, the doubt devil, and I'm going to use him in some videos coming up. So I'm quite excited about that. But when Dave, the doubt devil shows up, you've got to be able to recognize when he's there and know how to flick him off. Okay. So pay attention, recognize things, and notice when these things are happening, and you've got to nip it in the butt as quickly as possible. So recognize it and realize and remember and remind yourself, even if you've got this internal battle, that you do have choices. You can take back the power. So I've been telling myself this over and over again. This is just stories. This is not true. And I've been looking for the proof for the opposite. So if I'm going, oh, like, can I really do this? And I've been looking back to July and August. Yes, I fucking can. Look back to other months when, like this year I've had sales every single month. So it's like, I know that this isn't true, what my inner mind and Dave, the doubt devil, is telling me. So look for proof to prove the doubt devil wrong. Look for proof that says, no, that's not true. You will have had results, no matter how big or small. If you've got one sale, you can get 2 sales, you can get 5 sales. If you've generated 10 leads, you can generate 100 leads. It doesn't matter what the output or the outcome is, the result. If you've done it once, you can do it again. Okay. So look for proof of when you have succeeded at something. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be in business. It can be in your personal life, in a career, if you're still working in a job. Focus on the things that you can control. You can't control other people. You can't control situations. Like I couldn't control my cat being run over. I couldn't control things happening, but I can control how I show up. I can control the messaging, making sure that's aligned. And that's going to be something else I'm going to talk about in a second. So focus on the things that you can control and get clear on those action steps of those things, okay, that you can do right away, right now. What's one thing that you can do right now that you control that can help you take one step forward and make progress? Number 2, look at what might be causing any drought in sales. So if you have seen a bit like, I reopened doors to my program and I didn't get any interest. So it's like, okay. And I went down this spiral of, oh my God, it's me. I'm not good enough. My offer sucks. Da 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 da. And again, I went back to that's crap, because every single person I've talked to about it are like, that sounds awesome. That sounds amazing. And I have sold them. So I know that spirally thought was crap. So if you are seeing a bit of a drought in sales, ask yourself, what might be causing it? Do you maybe need to build more of an audience? Do you maybe need to nurture and build up a bit more trust? Show your expertise a bit more with your audience? Do you need to give them more content? Do you need to share why you're the person more? Build up more authority, build up more nurture, build up that relationship more. Do you need to give more value? Or do you need to refine your messaging to make it even more irresistible? Make it clearer about what it is that you've got and how it's going to help them. So, and that was one of the things that I know I need to look at is, okay, maybe my messaging isn't quite as clear. And so I'm working now on refining my offer and my sales page that I've got for my program to make it even clearer. So that can be a thing. So it's not always about, that's where having this mixture of sorting out the mindset stuff, but also having actionable things that you can do, because it can be a mixture. And that's what I bring into all of my work that I do with my clients. The third thing is then make a plan. So once you've kind of identified, okay, this is what's going on. I can see that I'm procrastinating, or that I'm not showing up. I'm hiding a bit. I can see that I'm not selling enough in terms of, are you actually promoting? Then obviously doing the number 2 is look at, okay, what might be causing these things? Then make a plan and work that plan. And so that's where taking those things with what can you control and those actionable steps, that's where you start. That's how you create your plan, and you focus on that. We hear it all the time, let go of the outcome and focus on the activity that you do, let go of the outcome. And it can be really hard to do when you're in this feeling of, oh my God, I haven't got enough money to pay my bills kind of thing. It's not a nice feeling. I'm not going to be focusing on what we don't have anymore and not having enough. And instead, I'm focusing now on what can I control? Focusing on leaning into my talents and skills. And this is what I want you to do. Lean into what you can control. What are your strengths? Lean into that and let people know about what you've got to offer. Let people know why it's important for them, how it's going to help them. Okay. And then number 4 is doing that deep dive into your money mindset and your relationship with money. Because, as you know, if you've been listening to this all this time, firstly, thank you. These are things that I thought I'd already dealt with. And these things can re-emerge if you don't deal with them. And sometimes it does take several layers. So it's not always just a one-time thing and it's done. When it comes to money, I've got friends who keep having to work on their money mindset. Again, it's like an onion, another layer. When they get to 6 figures, then another batch of stuff comes up. Or then if it's up leveling to 7 figures, I've got friends again that are at that level and they've had to unlock more of those blocks to allow them to get to 7 figures. So it is a constant thing. But the good thing is that it's quicker and you can catch these things yourself much quicker. But doing that deep work, the subconscious work that is what drives us and is what these are the things that reemerge without us even realizing. When you can work on that and understand it, where it comes from, and reframe, think of like recoding. You're adding new code, you're giving your computer up here an upgrade, you're updating the operating system. It's just not going as complex as iOS 15. But that's essentially what you're doing, and that's the work that I love to do with my clients because it is so impactful and it's things that have helped me massively. And so even though I know my things have reemerged, so much of it has already been healed and I've been able to let go and reframe a lot of it. This is just another layer of the onion, that's all. And it doesn't scare me. Like, I know that I'm going to be coming out of this and this is just a phase. This is just a season. This is just one of those things. That's kind of my tips for you. Okay. So just to recap quickly, one is, if you find yourself looking at your targets and thinking, oh my God, I'm not where I wanted to be. If you kind of start getting into that, oh God, there's so much to spend, to buy this time of year, and there's so many offers and stuff getting out there that you might get overwhelmed with, you might start to see old habits of doubt and fear and scarcity come back up. So some things that you can do is number one, focus on the things that you can control and get clear on what are some of those. Like, even if you can come up with 3 things, 3 actionable steps that you can take that always keep you in control and are going to help make progress. For example, this can just be writing a post that goes out to your social media following, letting people know about your offer. It could be building up more nurturing, like just even without making an offer, if you just need to do a bit more nurturing. Number 2 is look at what might be causing it. So is it that you need to spend a bit more time building more relationships with people, giving more value, nurturing? You can't just ask somebody to marry you on day 1. So if someone's brand new to you, you don't want to offer them something like marriage on the first date. So that's where you need to build up trust with your audience. Or do you need to get clearer on your messaging? Or do you need to build up more of your audience? Number 3 is then make a plan and work the plan, focusing on the things that you can control. And then number 4 is also then dive into your money mindset and look at what are those core beliefs that might be keeping you in this cycle. All right. So I'd love to give you a free resource today because I want to help you with this. If any of this has resonated with you, just know that you're not alone. This is so common and it will be okay. You can get out of it very simply. But I did create a free resource earlier this year that I want to give you. And I'll also put a couple of other things inside of the show notes of this episode. So check around this video or this episode for the link to the show notes. I'd love to give you my free magnetic money cheat sheet. Again, these are things that I do when I notice these things coming up. So you can grab this magnetic money cheat sheet, which has got 14, I think it's 14 tips of actionable things that you can do on top of things that I've given you today. And you can use that to have more of a magnetic mindset. And so you can go along to jennystevenscoaching.com/magnetic money. So go along, grab that. It's completely free. Go and download that cheat sheet, and it will just help give you some other things that you can add on to what I've given you today with those tips. And or if you do want to dive deeper into the subconscious, your relationship with money, then I do offer a one-to-one package where we can work on a personalized basis. So if you're interested in working with me one-to-one, so we can be really personalized to you, then just drop me a message or drop a comment on this video, and we can chat and see if this is right for you. And if it is, if you recognize any of these things as well and you want to work on that, then we can get you booked in and we can get you sorted out. I've got an awesome package. It's 4 weeks, so within. And again, this can be the biggest layer that we can peel away and help heal. So I'll put links to those resources as well in the show notes, but feel free to reach out to me if you want to chat more about this if you want. Okay. So thank you so much. I know this was a bit of a whirlwind episode today, but I felt like it was important for me to share that reality with you and share the vulnerability with you, to maybe you've been going through some stuff, and just know that these things happen. You're not alone. I'm here if you want to chat. And this, it can make these things spiral. And you've got to give yourself grace, like I've given myself less time to work when I wanted to just cry and heal and think about my little baby boy. And so give yourself that if you have been going through anything tough right now. At the end of the day, that's the beauty of being a business owner, is you get to choose, you get to decide. And when you can build your business with leverage, it actually means that your business doesn't stop if you're going to take the day off or take an afternoon off, because it's just, you're going through stuff and you need to give yourself some grace. And that's everything that what I can teach you and what I can help you do. So, but if you are going through anything, just know that I'm thinking of you, and lots of love. And I appreciate you for listening to me today, letting me be vulnerable with you and emotional. And but I hope most of all that you got some value out of it, and you got some ideas of actionable things that you can take away, and start listening, start paying attention to yourself. And that's the biggest key. That's the biggest gift I can give you, really, is awareness. Because when you can recognize and you can be aware of them when these things are happening, you can stop them from spiraling so much quicker. So anyway, so thank you so much for hanging out with me inside of this episode. Go and grab that free magnetic money cheat sheet. The link is in the comments, and it will also go in the resources section of the show notes. You can grab that there. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you all next week for another episode of the Brilliantly You Business Show. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.